Okay, we're finding the value of each variable. And what we need to do is we need to look at these things as 45, 45, 90 triangles and 30, 60, 90 triangles. So let's first talk about this right here. On the left, that is a 45, 45, 90. And we know that for those triangles, you've got x and x for the legs and x root 2 for the hypotenuse. So what root 2 do we see there? We see 7 root 2. That means that c, this length on the bottom, must be equal to 7. 7, because if the leg is 7, the hypotenuse is 7 root 2, and that's what it is. Yeah? And these legs are the same. Since it's a 45, 45, 90, that's isosceles. That means A is also 7. Yep. Okay, so we now know that the short leg, if we're now looking at this light blue, turquoise, 30, 60, 90 triangle, and because this shared side right here, which I'll just highlight in green, this shared side right there in the middle, right? It's the leg of the 45, 45, 90, so it's equal to 7. And it's the short leg of the 30, 60, 90, which means the hypotenuse of the 30, 60, 90 is going to be twice that length, or 14. And of course, the long leg is going to be that short leg, 7, times the square root of 3. So now we know that A is equal to 7, B is equal to 14, C is equal to 7, and D is equal to 7 square root of 3. For this one, we don't have two different types of triangles. We've got the 30, 60, 90 each time. Okay, so I'm going to first highlight in light blue this one right here. Notice this. They give us the hypotenuse is 10, and they want to know what this bottom side is here, this in green right here. D, that appears to be the short leg, and the short leg is always half of what the hypotenuse is, so D is equal to 5. Okay? Then the long leg of the 30, 60, 90 is going to be the short leg times root 3. So B is going to be equal to 5 root 3. That's B right there. Okay? So if the short leg is 5 root 3 and the long leg is the length of the short leg times the square root of 3, then what we've got is the short leg, 5 root 3, times root 3, because that's what we always do with the short leg. We multiply it by root 3 to find the long leg. And what is 5 root 3 times root 3? Well, these two pieces go together to become 3, so it becomes 5 times 3, or 15. So we've got C, that long leg, being equal to 15. And of course, the hypotenuse of the triangle there on the left, in dark blue here, which is what we're talking about, the hypotenuse is always twice as big as the short leg. The short leg is 5 root 3, so the long leg is going to be 10 root 3, twice as much. So then we've got for values, we've got A is equal to 10 root 3. B is equal to 5 root 3. Just taking the values that we wrote in the diagram. C is equal to 15, and D is equal to 5. Okay. For this one, what we really want to do is cut this into pieces. So you can see that B is actually going to be the length of the leg that we get here if we do this blue 45, 45, 90 triangle. Okay. Let's examine what the lengths of the legs are. We would know that they're the same. Okay. So if the hypotenuse is 3 root 2, then each leg was 3. Because to get the hypotenuse, you do the leg times square root of 2. So if we have 3 root 2 as the hypotenuse, then we must have had a length of 3 as the legs. Okay? So that short section of B, the partial section of B, is equal to 3. And just like the opposite side of this rectangle here, which is 4, that other section of B is equal to 4. So 3 and 4 together equals B is equal to 7 total, because that's this 3 plus this 3, okay? And because we had just calculated the length of the leg here, I'll do this in, I guess we do it in dark blue. This was also 3, since it was the other equal length leg of the 45, 45, 90. Then the opposite side here, it's got to be also 3 as well. So A is equal to 3. Okay, so B equals 7, and A equals 3. Let's write those down. And I think that's the only variables I see in there, so we're done.